What's going on, FA Nation? Happy Monday, and welcome to the Week 7 Monkey Knife Fight Monday Night Football video. No, I'm not Howard Bender. Howard has pitched a strong 6 innings, and I'm coming in for the 7th, aka Week 7. Currently, over on Monkey Knife Fight, if you haven't already gone over there, we have a great promotion running. Go to fantasyalarm.com/MKF and use the promo code ALARM. That promo code gets you a free $5 game and also up to a $100 match for first-time depositors. Now let's get into the action. For Monday Night Football, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to the very wet conditions in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. It's currently a 41 over-under, and the Saints are giving 4 points despite playing on the road. As I mentioned earlier, there is some rain expected, so maybe a little bit tentative with quarterbacks here, but maybe not. As we saw from Sunday Night Football, all bets were out the window despite the terrible weather in San Francisco. Let's get into the action. Let's start off with the game we like to call more or less. Now, more or less is straightforward. They give you a player, they give you yardage, and then you simply go more or less. And let's start off with the quarterback position, where we have Jameis Winston listed at 210.5 yards. Now, I like Jameis this week, and you should too. Now, Seattle's pass defense ranks 24th in DVOA, and they're allowing over 306 passing yards per game. Prior to this New Orleans bye week in Week 6, Jameis hit this over in back-to-back games. So I'm going Geno Smith over 210.5 yards. So next up, we have the backup quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. Now starting, Geno Smith, everyone's favorite former Jet. Shout out Howard Bender. Geno's prop is currently listed at 204.5, and I'm struggling to see him hit the over here. He needed overtime last week against Pittsburgh to reach this mark, and barely by 6 yards got over. New Orleans' pass defense has also been pretty stout this year, ranking 9th in DVOA. And up to this point, yes, they've only played 5 games, but up to this point, they've allowed the 4th fewest passing yards in the league. As we saw last week, Seattle used Alex Collins early and often, and they are a team that likes to establish the run. Even with new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, it hasn't been the passing attack we figured it would be. So I'm going to go over Jameis Winston, under Geno Smith. Let's move on to rapid fire, where once again, the two quarterbacks are in the spotlight. There's actually another prop attached to this rapid fire, as you see right over there or over there. This prop is giving Geno Smith a 5.5 yard buffer, and that's what rapid fire is. So do I think Jameis Winston outthrows Geno Smith in terms of yards, even with Geno's 5.5 yardage buffer? I do. Look, Geno did not show us a lot in that game in prime time last week against Pittsburgh, and I mentioned it up earlier. Winston's matchup is much better, and New Orleans' defense is much better than Seattle. So I'm going to take Jameis Winston even with the 5.5 buffer for Geno Smith. On the other side of this prop, we have Alvin Kamara versus Alex Collins. And Alex Collins is getting a 45.5 buffer to going up against Alvin Kamara. And call me crazy, I still like Kamara. And the reason is, maybe it has to do with the injury plus the weather. Collins is coming off a groin injury that he suffered against Pittsburgh last week. And, you know, as much as he was limited during practice, but we know how fickle groin injuries can be. And in these poor Seattle weather conditions, one wrong cut could end Collins' night. And that's very scary. I do think there could be re-aggravation for that groin injury. Seattle is getting Rashad Penny back, and I do think that this is a spot that Kamara can dominate. Seattle's defense is very poor. And I think they've relied on him all year, and I don't think that's going to stop here. So even with the buffer, I'm going to still take Alvin Kamara. I think the chalk, is to take Collins and the 45.5 buffer. I'm going the other way. And for our final prop of the day, let's go over to the touchdown dance, something Howard Bender loves. So we're going to follow in his footsteps and go with the touchdown dance. This would be my touchdown dance if I scored. So we're going to be looking at over 1.5 touchdowns. And we're going to go with the 3 players I think are going to get us there. I think Alvin Kamara might get us there alone. But we're going to go Alvin Kamara. We're going to go DK Metcalf. And we're going to go Marquez Callaway. Callaway himself has 3 scores over his last 3 games. And DK Metcalf has 5 touchdowns this year. So guys that are used to getting into the end zone, used to doing their touchdown dances here. And that'll do it. Just as a little recap, we'll do a little more or less. I went with Jameis Winston over 210.5 passing yards, under Geno Smith 204.5 passing yards. For rapid fire, I took Jameis Winston to beat Geno Smith, even with the buffer, and I did the same for Alvin Kamara over Alex Collins against the buffer. And then for a touchdown dance, Marquez Callaway, DK Metcalf, Alvin Kamara over 1.5 touchdowns. Again, fantasyalarm.com/MKF using promo code ALARM gets you a free $5 game. Plus, for first-time depositors, there's a $100 deposit match. Thanks for watching. Howard will be back for week 8. His arm will be rested and ready to pitch that game. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.